Chapter 56. Dustin took a step forward and leaped into the air. He moved as fast as lightning. Quick! Kill him! Edward immediately tensed up and yelled when he noticed Dustin make a move. However, before the armed elites could react, Dustin had already leaped forward. Dustin reached out and kicked one of the armed elites, who flew away like a piece of paper. A hole was pierced through the bulletproof vest on his chest. Even his bones were shattered. Before he could land, Dustin swerved before another person and kicked him in the neck. After killing 2 people in a row, Dustin did not stop and continued his attacks frantically. Anything he touched was destroyed in mere seconds. No one could stand in his way. These armed elites could not even react to his speed and strength. In a short time, they were defeated one after another. The guns couldn't keep up with his speed. Not even a single shot had been fired. The entire time Dustin had been holding on to Dahlia and attacking with his feet. Edward was dumbfounded as he watched what unfolded. He looked like he had seen a ghost. These elites were experienced in battles and each one were heavily armed. It should be effortless to defeat Dustin. How come they were the ones on the chopping board? What was happening? Is he a martial arts expert? No wonder he's so full of himself. Travis narrowed his eyes in surprise. It had not been easy for him to obtain his current position. He was also quite skilled and knowledgeable in martial arts. All the elites in the army have to be trained in martial arts. With the exception of intelligence agencies, proficiency in martial arts greatly affected the ranking of military personnel. The skills displayed by Dustin easily qualified him to be a highly ranked officer. "General, this man is quite powerful, should we retreat?" the adjutant asked in a low voice. "There's no need. It's rare to come up against such an expert. I want to personally fight him." Travis loosened his muscles. That burly body of his carried the strength of a panther. "Your turn." When the last person fell, Dustin's eyes once again fixed on Edward. "Uncle Travis. Save me." Edward stumbled back in fear. "Nobody would be able to save you today." Dustin stepped forward and headed toward Edward. "Your opponent is me." Travis roared and leaped toward him. He threw a punch at Dustin. Dustin didn't even look at him as he severed Travis's leg without any hesitation. As Edward was calling out for help, Travis landed his fist on Dustin's back. There was a loud explosion. Dustin was unmoved, but his clothes tore open, revealing his muscular body. Travis, on the other hand, was taken aback by the impact and spat a mouthful of blood as he stumbled to the ground. "General." The adjutant was overcome by worry and he quickly helped Travis up. Travis coughed violently, feeling a surge of blood rising inside. His fist, especially, was trembling uncontrollably, as if it had lost all senses. "This is not possible." Travis was shocked as he stared at his trembling arms. His eyes were filled with shock. Never in his wildest dreams did he imagine Dustin's body would be so impenetrable. His full strength did not even make a scratch on his opponent, yet he had sustained multiple internal injuries. Dustin was an absolute beast. Who on earth was this man? Travis raised his head in confusion and doubt. In an instant, he stood there dumbfounded as if struck by lightning because he realized that there was a large tattoo on Dustin's sturdy body. It was an animal with a dragon's head, an ox's tail, a tiger's back, a bear's waist, and a snake's scales. It was a black beast. The tattoo of the beast was so realistic that, as Dustin breathed, it looked as if it was coming alive. It looked so majestic and ferocious. It was so daunting. A Kirin tattoo. Travis was stunned, as if he had suddenly remembered something. He looked terrified. His surname was Rhys, with a tattoo of a black beast, and he knew the commanding general. Could he be the Rhys family's Kirin? No. That wasn't possible. Why was the man that stirred up the whole of Chooks and disappeared for 10 years here? Are you of Chooks descent? Travis asked tentatively, his lips quivering. "Oh. You finally figured it out." Dustin slowly turned around with a blank expression. There was no harm in him knowing as he was going to die anyway. It really is you. Why are you here? Travis was so frightened that he broke out in cold sweat. His confidence from before completely dissipated. There was nothing but fear on his face. No wonder he knew Adam Spanner. It turned out he was the legendary Kirin. Travis was done for. He had angered someone that made even Sergeant Adam uneasy. General. What's wrong? The adjutant was horrified. He had never seen Travis with such a terrified expression. He could remain calm even on a mountain of corpses on the battlefield. He had always been fearless in the face of danger. What happened to him now? How could a tough guy like him be trembling from fright? Who was this man Dustin? We're done for. Travis fell to the ground with a thud dejectedly. He knew he would die today. The only difference was if he would die in one piece. General. I've called for backup. They'll be here soon. Hold on. The adjutant tried to encourage him. There's no use. Travis shook his head as if he had been exhausted of all strength. General, what's wrong? The adjutant started to panic. Travis trembled as he pointed at Dustin and stammered, "He's the Kirin of the Rhys family, Logan Rhys." The adjutant froze when he heard this name. His face was as pale as ash. They were done for. The dead had come back to life.